Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am the CHALL. We are here for the latest news, reviews, and interviews from the world of sport. In today's video, Chall Chats Exeter City and manager Gary Caldwell seems like he's going to be signing at the very least, one striker in this window. But there is criteria for who they're after. Now, before we get started with all of that, check out all the upcoming content. Go and check out the MK Dons video that was just uploaded. So go and check that out. Go and follow the channel. Please like, comment, subscribe. If your team hasn't been reported on yet, do not worry. We will be reporting on other football clubs, other teams, other sports teams. We're going to be doing multiple videos. So stay tuned for it all. We do have other videos in the pipeline. The John Ryan podcast will hopefully be out at some point soon. We're still finishing that off and getting an announcement date, but we will announce it as soon as we can. We've got other videos in the pipeline as well from different leagues, the NBA, the British Basketball League, potentially more Premier League action, more Football League action. It's all going down the channel this year. It's going to be a massive and a very busy year this year. But then also, guys, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe for all of that. Click the notification bell to this YouTube video. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers and 500,000 views. Let's get there as soon as possible and build this very much upcoming sports media network created by the fans, for the latest news, reviews, and interviews. And for now, guys, let's get started and speak about Exeter City and the current situation. So I mentioned, according to BBC Sport, that Gary Caldwell said he wants at least one striker. That is the news story. That's the headline. The club will definitely sign at least one new striker this month, according to BBC Sport. However, and this is the criteria, Caldwell says City will not overspend on a new forward as they look to increase their firepower. So for me, I think they're looking for someone who may be 6 months away from being out of contract. They may look at loan deals. They may look at free agents. They may look at all of that. Or they may look for a striker at the very least who will require a minimal fee. Someone maybe with a year left on their contract, or with 6 months left and some kind of minimal compensation fee or some kind of minimal transfer fee. It could be various different things. They won't overspend, but they'll spend the right amount. So with that in mind, I want to, first of all, share my thoughts on that because I think the club have got, 18 goals this season, something like that. I think it's like somewhere like 18, maybe, potentially. I think it's the second lowest in the division, something like that. And if Exeter wanted to stay away from that relegation zone, they need a goal scorer in there. They need at least one goal scorer in there. So we're also going to share three potential options that I'm going to give to you guys as well. So first of all, they're on the news that Exeter are looking for at least one striker, but they won't overspend for a striker. I think it's smart recruitment. You don't want to overspend on one player and it flops because then you won't get any value to sell him on if he's not good enough. Or doesn't quite make the cut for Exeter. You don't want to overspend on a player and then in 2 years' time or 1.5 years' time or even a year's time, it could be that bad, having to try and get rid of him, but he's on maybe a high wage or you've overspent on the player, it's money lost. There might not be a lot of interest in terms of money-wise. So again, it throws up that kind of problems. And this is where the sort of debate of overspending on players, and this is where bad and good football decisions come into it. Exeter need to be really smart, and they have been. Exeter have been really smart in the past. You know, bringing back Jay Stansfield on loan from Fulham. Of course, for those of you who don't know, his dad was the late great Adam Stansfield. You know, I don't have much. Obviously, I was a kid. I was pretty much a kid when Adam was playing for Exeter. Obviously, I'm a Doncaster Rovers fan, so I was watching Doncaster Rovers. But obviously, at the same time, Adam Stansfield was playing for Exeter. He unfortunately passed away. Absolute legend at Exeter. Obviously, a former Yeovil player as well, I believe. He was a brilliant number 9. He was a proven goal scorer as a number 9, and obviously, he'll always be missed. He'll always have a legacy in football, and we always need to remember that. And we'll remember that every single year. But obviously, his son Jay steps into the game, amazing goal scorer. He's now in the Championship with Birmingham, and he's just been amazing. So for me, Exeter have been really smart in their recruitment in the past. I've got no doubts they'll try and be smart in the future. So with that in mind, let's have a look at 3 potential options the club could go for. Because like I said, Exeter have had some brilliant strikers over the last decade or so, including the late, great Adam Stansfield. So, someone's going to have to live up to that reputation. Someone's going to have to live up to that legacy. And this is what football needs, a bit more legacy. And I think the modern football fans need to understand a bit more legacy and how much that weighs bear on the shoulders of the players and how much the players also realize that the legacy bears down on their shoulders and how much they need to live up to the shoes that they're stepping into, like the late, great Adam Stansfield did. So these 3 potential options could be the guys that need to step up and step into those shoes and fill in those shoes, and also be, in terms of the experienced strikers I've got on this list, to be real leaders and real veterans towards the younger players that are stepping up and wanting to step into the first team at some point. So with that in mind, let's have a look at 3 potential options I could see coming in as striker in January for Exeter City. So let's start off with number 1, and that is Ademola Ola-Adebomi from Crystal Palace. And this is either a loan deal or a permanent because he has 6 months remaining on his current contract. Now then, this one's a tough one because obviously there's reports linking into Shrewsbury. Apparently he's not in the under-21 squad today against Everton, I think it is. So that might be something to consider here, potentially with Shrewsbury. But this is the thing, right? Obviously no deal's been confirmed yet. And I think Exeter have got the potential opportunity here to really use that pulling power and try and create this smart recruitment. And to be fair, I think it'd be a pretty good deal for Exeter. He's a proven goal scorer at youth level, needs that senior loan deal or a senior deal. And I think if you got him on a permanent for 2.5 years, that could be a fantastic deal if you've got the money for it in terms of wages, any additional clauses, because it's not as straightforward as people may think. There's additional clauses, additional wages, the initial wage itself, any other clauses inside the contract that may differ financially from Exeter. So that's what we're going to consider here. And I think that Ola-Adebomi would be a wonderful addition to that striking squad. He's a long-term option as well, so someone you'd really build around. He's a real presence up front. He's a proven goal scorer at youth level. And you give him that senior experience, and I think he would thrive. I think he would absolutely thrive in the current Exeter system. Now then, the second option is a very much an experienced option. And for the second and third player out of this top 3 list, I've kind of gone back to Gary Caldwell's old clubs where he managed and just sort of have a look at the options there. So this second guy is from Hibernian, of course, where Caldwell used to be assistant manager before taking the job at Exeter. And that is Christian Doidge, who's also out of contract in the summer. Now then, this guy, as of recording this video, has scored 3 goals and 2 assists in 16 Scottish Premiership games. Very experienced. He can operate in the solo striker or in a strike partnership. So he's good in both the 3-4-1-2, the 3-4-2-1, or even the 4-4-2, which is what Exeter have done on at least one occasion this season. So he's adaptable in formations. He's experienced. He can lead the line. Obviously, he's had rocky spells throughout his career, I think it's fair to say. But I think someone of his experience who knows the Football League, I think could be very crucial here. And that leads me on to my third option, which is another experienced striker who's out of contract in the summer. And for me, I think this would be a no-brainer. On a permanent deal from another one of Gary Caldwell's old clubs, Wigan Athletic, Josh Magennis. Now I know it's very much a late sort of late age deal in terms of the age of this player. He is 33. He isn't going to be the long-term solution for Exeter. However, I think someone of his experience on an 18-month, 2-year deal is kind of what Exeter needs, in my opinion. I think that his experience will come good. I think he's adaptable. I think he knows the league very, very well. He'll get more regular game time with Exeter than with Wigan. Obviously, he has captained the last 3 games for Wigan before today's game against Reading, which I don't know if that's been postponed or not. I'll double check that after the video. But yeah, someone of Magennis' experience is exactly what Exeter needs right now, and I think they'll get more regular game time with Exeter. It's been kind of like to and fro throughout the season at Wigan. Obviously, captained the last 3 games up front. But for me, I think league games anyway. But I think for me, I think he needs more regular game time, and I think he'll get that at Exeter. Even if they just agree a loan deal to the end of the season, if he signs a new contract at Wigan and agrees a loan deal to the end of the season for more regular game time, I think that could even be better. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. I think Magennis has experienced exactly what Exeter might need right now. But comment down below, Exeter City fans, what do you think you need? What kind of striker do you think you need? And is there any names you could throw my way? Send them in the comments down below, and I'll reply to every single comment. That is an absolute promise on this channel. Obviously, no offensive comments or abusive comments, because they'll just get deleted. Because we want a nice, positive, happy space. But any constructive comments, any feedback comments constructively, or any suggestions of who you think Exeter should bring in, send them below, and I'll reply to every single one of you. You know I always do. But that is it for this video, guys. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to get ready for the Emirates Stadium for Arsenal v Palace, live in the studio for Premier League action. And for now, I'm the CHALL. Ta-ra for now.